Hello everyone. I'm Alice. Today, I will share my weekend routine with you. On weekends, I spend more time with my family. I will speak slowly and clearly so you can understand. At 8 o'clock in the morning, I woke up slowly. The sun was shining through the curtains. The house was quiet, and I could hear the birds outside. I stretched my arms and smiled because I knew it was Sunday. Sunday is a family day. I went to the kitchen and made coffee. The smell of coffee filled the whole room. It made me feel fresh and ready for the day. I put the cup on a tray and walked back to the bedroom. James, my husband, was still sleeping. I gave the coffee to him and said gently, "Wake up, James. Today is Sunday. We don't have work." James pulled the blanket over his face and said, "No. I need more sleep. It's the weekend." I laughed softly. James always wants extra sleep on Sundays. I touched his hand and said, "Come on, James. Get up. Let's enjoy this day together." Slowly he sat up, took the cup, and smiled at me. He said, "All right, all right. Thank you for the coffee." Just then, our children ran into the room. My daughter Emma jumped on the bed and said, "Mama, let's make pancakes." My son Daniel shouted, "Yes, pancakes. I'm so hungry." I laughed and said, "Okay, okay. Let's go to the kitchen." At 9 o'clock, we were in the kitchen. I mixed the pancake batter carefully. James poured more coffee for himself. Emma and Daniel helped by putting plates and spoons on the table. I looked at them and thought, this is my favorite moment, working together as a family. James gave me a fresh cup of coffee. He said, "Here you go, Alice." I smiled and said, "Thank you, James." We all sat down and began to eat pancakes. They were soft and sweet, with a little honey on top. Emma said, "Mama, these are the best pancakes." Daniel laughed and said, "I want more, please." Breakfast felt warm, happy, and full of love. At 10 o'clock, after breakfast, we started cleaning the house together. I folded some clothes and put them in the cupboard. James vacuumed the living room, moving the sofa a little. Emma used a small cloth to dust the table. Daniel picked up his toys from the floor and put them in a box. I watched them and said, "Good job, Daniel." "Thank you, Emma." James looked at me and smiled. He said, "Teamwork makes everything faster." The house soon looked clean and fresh. When the house is clean, I feel relaxed and calm. At 11 o'clock, James asked me, "Do you need anything from the store?" I said, "Yes, please. We need some fruits and vegetables." So we all got ready. Emma put on her shoes quickly. Daniel grabbed his small toy car, because he always likes to take it with him. James took the car keys, and we went outside together. In the car, Emma and Daniel looked out of the windows. They saw other families walking on the road. They sang small songs and laughed together. I looked at the road and smiled. I like driving with my family. Even when the road is busy, I feel peaceful. At the store, James bought apples, bananas, and fresh vegetables. Emma helped me carry a small bag. Daniel held the bananas proudly in his hands, as if he was very important. I said, "Thank you, my helpers." They both laughed and said, "You're welcome, Mama." At 1 o'clock in the afternoon, we reached the park. The weather was beautiful. The sun was bright but not too hot. Emma ran to the swings. Daniel climbed on the slide and shouted, "Mama, look at me." Emma said, "Push me, please." I pushed her swing slowly, and she laughed loudly. James and I sat on a bench. We watched the children play and talked about our week. James said, "They are growing so fast." I nodded and said, "Yes, I feel the same. I want to keep these moments forever." The children ran, jumped, and played. The air was fresh, the grass was green, and everything felt perfect. I felt so happy to see my family smiling and enjoying the day. At 6 o'clock in the evening, we came home and started cooking dinner together. The kitchen became busy but full of laughter. I cut onions and tomatoes. James cooked chicken in a pan, and the smell was delicious. Emma washed the salad leaves carefully. Daniel put napkins and glasses on the table. I said, "Good job, everyone. Cooking together is fun." James smiled and said, "The food always tastes better when we cook it together." Soon the dinner was ready. We sat down and enjoyed a big meal. We talked about the park, about the store, and about funny little things. The evening felt warm and peaceful. At 8 o'clock, we made popcorn and sat in the living room. James turned on a family movie. Emma sat close to me with her small pillow. Daniel held his toy car in his hand, even while watching. We ate popcorn together and laughed at the funny scenes. James said, "This is a good movie." Emma said, "I like it." Daniel shouted, "Me too." I looked at them and thought, family time is the most beautiful time. At 10 o'clock at night, it was bedtime for the children. Emma and Daniel brushed their teeth. I read them a short bedtime story. James turned off the lights. The children closed their eyes and went to sleep peacefully. I kissed them on the forehead and whispered, "Good night." When my children sleep, I feel thankful. The day was simple but full of love. That is why I always wait for Saturday and Sunday. Family time gives me energy for the whole week. It reminds me that happiness is not in big things. Happiness is in small moments, breakfast together, cleaning together, playing together, and smiling together. This was my weekend routine. I hope you enjoyed it. Now tell me, what do you usually do on weekends? Write it in the comments. I would love to read your answers. Thank you for spending time with me today. I will be back soon with another story, so you can enjoy and learn English with me. Goodbye, my friends. Take care and see you next time.